Collaboration I'm in, we drew names. We sent each other 5 things from our thrifted stashes to DIY. Grab your popcorn, look in the description box for the playlist. We have a lot of fun doing them for you. Thank you, Rachel from Stella Rose, who sent my box. This video has decoupaging, paint inlays, waxing, painting. I used a drill. I used some fire. You just got to stay tuned. You know what this video doesn't have? I was just in my team meeting for the collaboration. It's supposed to be holiday flipping frenzy. I didn't do one holiday thing. They wouldn't fire me. It's not in here. I failed. Reenactment because I forgot to push record. But this is what I did when I seen this. Because look how cute. And I have been doing some wood burning, so I may stamp on this and wood burn. I don't know. Look at this. Look at this. Woo. 1925, Boston, Massachusetts. I thought she was cooking because I just made some sourdough cinnamon rolls last night. They taste like caca. It was not good. When I started reading, it says, a silken chemise, and you probably pronounce it differently than that. A silken chemise and a kitchen apron should never meet in the hamper. So I'm going to do something for a laundry room with this. It's 100 years old though. But I'm doing it. I'm defiling it. I'm tearing it up and I'm doing something. I thought I would give you a tour of my laundry nook. This thing can roll in front and be a door if I want it to be. But usually I just leave it open and I put a transfer on that. I just love this little space. It is my smallest laundry room I've ever had, and I just love it. It is super efficient. Got this little child's board. I love the sign. It cracks me up. Help wanted. I'm still looking. It's still open. And then I have the project coming up, and then I hang stuff on the back of this. Because why not? I use that hook all the time to hang clothes on. I love that little thing to hang clothes on. And I put a little frame around my light switch, and here she is. It just makes me so happy. Okay, this frame didn't have any backing in it, so I took some stiff cardboard, taped it together, just cut it with the scissors. I hot glue it in there later. Works just fine. So you do not have to cut wood to make this work. Guys, I stinking hot glued that thing in there like it was ready for the Oklahoma tornado. And then I choose to put my paint inlay on there. So I'm working around not getting it on my cute little decoupaged 100-year-old piece of paper. It would have been worth just busting it back out, doing your paint inlay, and then hot gluing it back in there. But no, I'm not going to do that. So FYI, if you can, do your frame first. But as you can see, it turned out successful without it. This frame is already done in the DIY Eden paint. All the products I use will be in the description box. I am taking some mint chip and some more Eden because I wanted a variated color for when I pull off my paint inlay. So I just mixed them up and put this in here. You do want to wet your paper with a mister bottle before you put it down. As you can tell, I forgot to do that, so I'm doing it now. But it does help to put it on. And I'm just smashing it down. I should have grabbed a wet rag or a damp sponge and then made sure to wipe over it so the contact is good. So as you'll see, I had a little bit of a fail, but I liked the not perfectness because I wanted this to look really old. And so some of it come off good, some of it didn't. I'm going to tell you my trials and error. I did want to kind of wrinkle up my paper, and I forgot until the side ones to do it, because when you purposely make your paint inlay kind of wrinkled up and not lay down, it makes these kind of grooves and these high spots and low spots, and you can do a lot of different colored waxes and a glaze over it, and it catches in those, and it just makes it so much more interesting. This is the Chintz Rose. I do believe it is retired. There will be some people that have some out there. I think I have one. If I do, I'll put it in the description box. But I want you to know, do not be afraid of the paint inlays, and they can be used up to 3 times So that is a nice thing about these. Now, if you do it with the decoupage medium as your base, as you will see me do later on the little bitty tiny cutting board, you do not get a second use with that. You can kind of make it into decoupage paper. I wish the ladies would make the grid lines go off so that that doesn't show up as much. So here I've got it all down and I kind of crinkled it up. See how I crinkled that up? I wanted that. So then you just spray it with water really good and let it dry or take a blow dryer. Here I am using our DIY liquid patina and I am just putting a healthy coat on here. It does need to be, pretty thick and it needs to be pretty wet. Sometimes when I put my DIY paint on there, it dries. So I go ahead and give it a little mist before I lay the paint inlay down. So as you will see, it didn't really adhere as good and I'm going to end up Frankenstein a few pieces together to make it the look I want, and it worked just fine. I promise you will not have as many problems if you will grab you a sponge and make sure it makes contact. You see I'm doing it with my hand. I was too lazy to go get the darn sponge and it caused me problems. But the other thing I discovered I did, some of my paint inlay had been previously used on the green frame, and that is part of why it didn't come as strong as parts of it. So your first use will have more strength in the paint color, and then as you go along. Okay, but I wanted to show you. See, didn't work. And that was just because I didn't go get the sponge and make sure it was nice and wet and down. So after it is dry, but when you use liquid patina, you don't want it to just dry for hours, days, weeks, or even over dry. You need to kind of watch it. It is a little bit chancy. It's off-label instructions here. And then you wet it, let it set for about 30 seconds, and then pull it off and see if it worked. You do need to seal it with wax or a liquid patina. Don't over brush it or you will smear your paint. Oh my goodness, let's move on to something else. Finding these pieces at the thrift store because they're dark, they're dated, and we can take just a quick swipe of some bright and happy paint and just bring it up to date, give it purpose. I love these two-sided things because anytime you have something that's two-sided, you can do seasonal. You can make one winter, you can make one summer if you wanted to do a mold or a paint inlay or a bright color on one side and a fall color on another side. The difference here I'm putting full coverage on and then taking a baby wipe and wiping it back. So the highs are the bronzy look. The other one where I kind of just dry brushed it, it got it down into the edge. It's just two different looks. So that's what I wanted to show you here. They're both real similar, but both really fast and very cute. I had some Summer Crush mixed with a little bit of layered chocolate left over from something. So I wanted to make this kind of rusty looking. So I just blotted some on and spray until it was drippy and looked rusty. I could have really worked with this, but I just wanted a little splash of something else. I was just messing around, having fun. You do not have to sand. I was just kind of blending that in, again, messing around a little bit. So I took some clear wax to seal this and make the colors pop. Sometimes on these smaller crafted things, I don't even seal it. You don't have to. It's not going to get manhandled a lot. It doesn't matter if it scuffs up and isn't, staying power as good as sealing. Have you used our colored waxes? They're stinking fabulous. This is the white wax. And again, I was just playing, so I just did it and I liked it. It kind of looks kind of smudgy and kind of soft looking. Our Verde wax is our green wax. We have dark, black, brown, so many waxes. Now I'm just kind of blotting it off. And if you do use colored waxes, it is suggested you put the clear coat on first, which is what I did. Okay, let's get to this cute little white basket. I have seen somebody else do this, so this is inspiration from seeing people cut material and putting it on. You can do a flatter material and stamp an image on there just as good. A stamp wouldn't have done good on this thick jute. And then just to get that raw edge, you just literally pull some of the strings out. Is so fun. So I hot glued that puppy down. It went right through the material and burn the, you know what's out of my finger. Okay, I'm using the Iron Orchid Insignia stamp or one of the other smaller ones. I don't know. You'll just have to look in the links to see. I took some hymnal paper. Yes, I used to feel really bad about defiling a hymnal, but you know what? I'm like, it's still serving a purpose. It's still out there doing good. I'm desensitized now. I just tear those pages out there. But if you can't do it, make a copy of it, tea stain it, and then you'll have your hymnal music sheets. I love this technique. I'm telling you, you got to be careful though, because some paper and some material burns way faster. So no joke, be careful. But my friend taught me this in the 80s, and any chance I get to do it, man, I am firing it up. It is so cool, and it just gives another little dimension to it. Let me give you a tip about using these baby microscopic tiny letters that are stinking fabulous and so worth it. Get a big serving tray or some kind of container and put your stamps on that, because they will mix in with your other crafting table stuff, and we're still searching for some, eyes and some T's. And I'm like, think of it, offering a reward in my workshops. Hey, these are what we're looking for. If you find them, you will get rewarded, because man, they're hard to keep up with. I had an air dry labels mold already done, and so I used that, and you will see me taking some watered down layered chocolate, just making a glaze over it, and then I stamp my little K in there, or whatever letter you want. If you use one of the bigger labels, you can actually spell something out. Okay, I wanted you to see up close some of the wrinkles as I pull this off, and this is so satisfying watching the beauty underneath these paint inlays. This footage is all over the place. I just spliced this in here. I forgot to show you that I wet distressed some of it so that the darker Eden underneath would show, and then I did take my clear wax and waxed it, and then I did use some dark wax in certain spots. Look at that. See how the highs and lows? We're going backwards in time here. I used the liquid patina to do my decoupage paper onto that cardboard, and then I did put a layer on top, which helped me to be able to wipe off when I was doing the paint inlay and getting the paint on there. This is the La Capane, I'm sure I'm saying it wrong, stamp. It has so many parts to it, and so many that would have looked really cute on this cutting board. So I was just trying to decide here. I love, again, doing two-sided things because you can get a lot of bang for your buck. And wait till you see the masking technique I did with the folk story stamp right here. This is my favorite project. I love wood piece architecture, whatever you want to call it. I'm using a transfer on here. I'm just kind of going with the flow here. At first, I thought I would take a whole bunch of gold cut hooks and put them up and down this thing all over, but I found some hooks that went up top, you'll see me do, and that worked out better, but you could do multiple things. And all because of that red flower that's going to be on top of this cheetah, I had to stop and decoupage. So this is tissue paper. You can absolutely do it. I used the straight edge to go right up against that one, and the rough cut up top because I'm going to sand it off after it's completely dry. I used a blow dryer to move it along, and it is so easy to get a really nice sharp edge with either just a piece of sanding paper, a sanding block, or I bought this little thing off of Amazon. I love it. This little kind of finger type sander. It's really good. I've been seeing people use them, and I grabbed one and I love it for small projects. A liquid patina under it, and then I put a coat on top, let that dry good, and put my transfer over. This was so cute. I can't even believe how cute this is. So I did used to sell jewelry in the past, so I've got a little bit left, and when you do sand, go up so that you don't tear it down. You'll see me tear a little piece off. You guys, it is so easy to splice decoupage back together. It's Heavier paper, you can even do it, but this is light and it works, especially if it's a busy pattern. See, watch, you will not even be able to see this after I'm done. So just go with it and embrace the wrinkles. Is just going to happen. So this is the flower that made me stop everything and put some cheetah under it because, you know, it just goes. I love to turn these transfers around the corner. You'll see the purple flower at the end. You'll see how I did it up on the wood part and just spill it over the corners. And don't think you have to do it just perfect. You kind of want to just get your composition going and just play around. So I did use the liquid patina to seal the transfer, and I also went ahead and put a coat on all the black parts just so the sheen would match. If you see you missed some of your image, you can go back and patch it in. It is really surprising how well you can match it. Or if you have a scrap of something else because you lost part of your image, you can just blend it in. I got a pack of gold screws that were all sizes from Harbor Freight, and I use them for a lot of different things. Sometimes I just do the screw straight in and hang jewelry off of that because it's just a little bit more pizzazz than the regular colored ones. Here I'm just kind of not even measuring. I did have to end up going back and redoing one because one was high and one was low because of the beveled edge. You can be as persnickety on this as you want with measuring and, you know, pre-drilling and all this stuff, but this was good enough for me. This would be so cute if you have this in your bedroom or in a closet, a bathroom to hang your jewelry. Look at that. I love this thing so much. So the front, the back, all four sides, you could put more hooks, less hooks, just the screws, and hang even more jewelry. But I just wanted to do it just like this because I just want to stare at it. This was my favorite one. Thank you for watching. I release a video every Friday, and I would love to have you like, subscribe, do all the things. And if you order anything, I mail out pretty quick. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to watch the next on the playlist. And it's good bathroom reading before cell phones. Any of you old enough to do paper before? Yeah, okay.